Alright, boys, welcome to my predictions for Week 7 of the NFL season. I may sound, at least like mentally, kind of all over the place. It's just one of those days where my brain's absolutely cooked. I had school, and then I was just playing Among Us on my phone for like an hour. So, yeah, I'm just in a weird spot right now. But that's not going to stop me from uploading as we get started here with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. I'm not kidding. I almost said Cincinnati Browns. That's how brain fried I am. But the Browns just got spanked by the Steelers last week. It was like 38-17 or whatever. But it was ugly. It was ugly. Baker Mayfield got benched. They had to bring in Case Keenum. And on the other hand, we have the Bengals, who blew a 21-point lead. So if you just let a game slip away from you like that, you're going to be pretty hungry in the next one. And that's why I think the Bengals are going to get this win. Now we have the Bills and the Jets. Man, the Jets are a total mess right now. I mean, so much so that immediately after losing 24-0 to the Dolphins, they traded their starting defensive tackle away. I mean, they're just like, it's official that they're tanking. And usually if you're tanking, you can't beat one of the best teams in the league. So Bills get a likely blowout victory. Then we got the Steelers and the Titans, featuring my pick for the National Football League Most Valuable Player, Derrick Henry. That's right. I'm not letting the whole second-year QBs have to win the MVP narrative get rid of my hot takes and stuff. Because, I mean, he's done things like literally destroy Josh Norman, get 160-something rushing yards, win a game for the Titans in OT, and now we got a battle of the 5-0 teams, Titans and Steelers, and it's just a battle of at this point, it's just which is a better 5-0 team, and right now, that's the Tennessee Titans. I mean, obviously, Derrick Henry was my pick for MVP right now, I just said. Ryan Tannehill is another guy, he's playing really well, continuing to be one of the best QBs since the second half of last year. And they've got receivers, A.J. Brown. And, I mean, the Steelers, they haven't made any moves yet to replace Devin Bush. And they better do that soon, or else they're going to fall down in the standings more. So now we got the Chiefs and the Broncos, who pulled out an impressive win against the Patriots, even with all of their injuries. But let's be for real. If you want to stop the Kansas City Chiefs, you're going to need a defense better than what the Broncos are rocking with right now. So the Chiefs are going to get this victory. Patrick Mahomes, I'm not going to say he's been passive. I mean, he hasn't had like any of his explosive passing games, partially because they lost to the Raiders. I mean, he has thrown like 2 TD passes, fastest to 90 ever. And I think this game is going to have one of his patented like 400-yard games or maybe like 4 touchdowns. They'll just erupt, and the Chiefs will destroy the Broncos. And now we have the Los Angeles Chargers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is going to be the first opportunity for Justin Herbert to play super well and actually win the game. Because obviously the Jags, they've got young players. But, I mean, this defense is not, of the Jaguars, not the Chargers, is obviously not the best. And so I believe that the Chargers will finally not blow a lead. And yeah, now we have the Packers and the Texans. I don't really know what to say about what happened to the Packers last week, which, I mean, that was just an absolute disaster for Aaron Rodgers. Not even 200 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That is rough, and they got blown out by the Bucs. But on the other hand, as they have pretty much all their history, the Texans are just a total failure as an NFL franchise, which obviously I got guys on there I like obviously Larry Tunsil, Kenny Stills, and Deshaun Watson, but the Dolphins get the Texans pick this year, which makes me happy, and I think that the Packers are going to bounce back and take this win. I mean, the Packers, they don't need Aaron Rodgers to play like he did in week 1 every game just for them to win. Because obviously, They got guys like Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams on the offense. They have a tight end who's breaking out, whose name I literally forgot. Tanyan or whatever. I don't know, man. Robert Tanyan, that's his name. Anyway, obviously, and of course the defense remains one of the best in the league. I don't know if it is statistically, but on paper and with the way they play, they're one of the best defensive squads in the NFL. And now we got the Niners and the Patriots. Niners played an impressive game last week. They were able to beat the Rams even with all their injuries. But, I mean, the Patriots only putting up 12 points and losing an easily winnable game. That's not exactly the so-called Patriot way that Bill Belichick has established in his, 20-something years there? 20,000, it seems like forever. So this is, just like I was talking about with the Bengals earlier, this is going to be a very hungry team, and I think that they'll beat the 49ers. And is this Sunday Night Football? No, it's 4:25. And now, the Bucks and the Raiders. Oh, man, you got to give me the Bucks here. I mean, they've really hit their stride as a team. Hell, even Gronkowski caught a touchdown. Their offense is firing on all cylinders, and the defense, it's playing about as good as it can with their limited secondary. Shout out to Carlton Davis, though. He's really turning into a star corner. Defensive back. I don't know if he's like a safety or corner or whatever. And obviously, the Raiders, they ain't got no defense. They can't stop this. And then we got the Giants and the Eagles. Why did you put the Giants and the Eagles on Thursday Night Football? Okay, I mean, I know a couple of weeks ago they had the Broncos and the Jets. Then they had the Dolphins and the Jaguars. But I mean, like, this is like the bad and the horrendously horrible. Even though the Giants were able to pull out a win against the football team because Ron Rivera's a dumbass. But, I mean, let's be for real. The Eagles may be 1-4-1, but I don't want to say they're a better team than their record because they're not. Carson Wentz is god-awful. I mean, until last week. And funny story about Carson Wentz. Carson, if you're watching this, which I know you're not because nobody's watching this, why the hell did you have to wait to be semi-good until after I got rid of you in fantasy? Okay, that's enough of that. You really don't need to hear this. Eagles win for obvious reasons. And, oh shoot, they actually just got into the playoffs. God, the NFC East is so bad. Now we have the Lions and the Falcons. The Lions might actually be kind of an underrated team. I mean, the Falcons, it's not looking good. Julio Jones is going to get traded. And so is probably Matt Ryan. And for the Lions, obviously they're still pretty bad. But what about DeAndre Swift last week? He had like over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, if he could do that again, that's an instant dub for Detroit. And look at it. Look at here's something funny. Oh, never mind. I thought if I had switched the results of this game, the Detroit Lions would be the 4th seed, but playoff predictors just want to cooperate right now. I just completely stuttered through that entire sentence. Cowboys and football team. Even though the Cowboys got crushed, Zach Martin got a concussion, which is a huge loss for obvious reasons. They still have a pretty good offense. We're not going to talk about the defense. But when you're playing the Washington football team, you don't need any defense. You could have 0 players out there, and they still wouldn't be able to score. And yeah, it just seems like an easy win for the Cowboys. And now we have the Panthers and the Saints. Panthers, their winning streak was snapped when they lost to the Bears, but it was only a 7-point game, and it was going back and forth. I swear, I really want this to be the last predictions video where I'm saying this. Maybe this is the game where Christian McCaffrey returns. Matter of fact, let me just Google it. I'll be right back. Well, I Googled to see if he's coming back for the Saints game. I saw one thing that said he might be gone till week 9. So we're assuming that there is no Christian McCaffrey for this game. And I think that this right here is the game where the Saints finally live up to their Super Bowl expectations. Obviously, they've been a little bit disappointing this year. They lost to the freaking Raiders, um, who again don't have a defense. But the Saints, they'll be able to, with Michael Thomas coming back, the Saints will get on a little bit of a winning streak here, starting with a win against the Panthers. And now we got the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Oh boy. Now this should be a good game. You know what? The NFL could have done us a solid and given us this for the Sunday night game instead of Buccaneers Raiders. But they seem to have no interest in broadcasting good games, so I'll shut up. Obviously, Russell Wilson I said earlier Derrick Henry should be the MVP and that he was the favorite, but really, the favorite is Russell Wilson, even though Derrick Henry deserves it. But, I mean, the Cardinals, that was an impressive win against the Cowboys, even though they did lose their top offensive lineman. Their defense definitely showed up to play, and I think that they'll get an upset and take down the 5-0 Seahawks. So they're 5-2 now, and we move to the final game of Week 7, which is the Bears and the Rams. Honestly, I got my opinion on the Rams. They're a really good team. Dark horse to win it all. Okay, win the NFC. But the Bears, even though they're 5-1, I still don't know how to feel about them. I mean, they seem like one of those teams that could get a top 3 seed and then bomb out in the playoffs. But I got to be keeping a close eye on the Bears. But I've made up my mind for this game. This is a win for the Rams. I mean, they've been playing lights out football as of late. Obviously, they lost to the Niners. But before that, I mean, Aaron Donald, 4 sacks in a game, and they'll get this dub here. And that rounds out my predictions for this week. Let's look at the standings. The Titans take the number 1 seed in the AFC from the Steelers, who dropped down to 5. Packers move into the 1 seed. Cardinals get in the playoff picture. And that's pretty much it. So, hopefully you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. And eat some Doritos.